why do you think that oftentimes lawmakers in Nigeria, not just even at the National Assembly, even at the state level, what they do mostly is to dole out money, to what they call empowerment to their own partners, distribution of motorcycles, distribution of sewing machines and all of that. And if you look at their scorecard in the National Assembly or the state houses of assembly where they are, they have not really done anything that is related to lawmaking in terms of pushing bills, co-sponsoring bills, and moving motions. For 4 years, some of them have not done anything like that. Why do you think that is?
If we don't diversify from the energy we've put in place for public offices, we won't get it right. Rome wasn't built in a day. America is a very, very developed country like China. From the private angle, you must invest. Your policies must be working coherently with international policies, investment policies. Look at China. In the 80s, what was China? But you see China today is well developed. And I'm saying that we need to put so much effort in private investment and create that opportunity for us to have this gainful employment from the private sector. The old era is out. What we used to know back in the days, companies which are so much government investment in it. This is time for us to simply create policies. And how do you create policies? You have to throw the bills there. That is going to enhance private investors to be able to trust those policies, those bills, with their funds. Insecurity. How can someone who I don't know, is to fight insecurity with so much funding, whereas we need schools to educate our people. We have schools which are under-equipped. How can we continue like that? The children of today are not well educated. The idle hands, the devil's workshop. What have we done about that? Go to school, go to school. If a generation fails to be educated, that generation is going to be the one who is going to cause the problem for the educated ones. So we must actually invest more in education. The bill, more funding for schools, superb, and all that, for us to have that enabling environment, for us to grow the economy. I think the youthfulness, like my Oga said, for me now, I see him as a youth as well.
Let me rephrase the question for both of you. I don't think both of you understand what the question is. Why do you think that Nigerian lawmakers are more focused on doing what they call empowerment, distribution of motorcycles, so you mentioned, rather than focus solely on lawmaking, on pushing bills, on being active in the National Assembly or in the State House of Assembly? So, Mr. Tajudeen, maybe you'd like to take a shot at that.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, thank you. You see, I said it clearly. When they get there, they forget home. All what comes to their mind is how to recontest. You understand? And you will be seeing them buying motorbike, buying rice, keep it at home. They don't share all these items before the election. But when the election just comes, they started distributing. Then, if you look at, we always watch television. When you see them in the Parliament House, most of them do sleep. I already want to joke.
Let's not use offensive.
No, I'm sorry to say. We have the pictures. We have the pictures. You understand? So, you see somebody that gets to that place and starts sleeping, will now rise up, hands, and say, I have something, or I want to write something about my no. Oh, they don't have anything upstairs to offer their people. That is why they do buy machine, buy this, buy oscillate till election comes.
Mr. Losingale, if you'd like to take a shot at that question.
Yes, let me start by saying, while we were growing up in the 80s, there was no Okada transportation. It was a sane Ondo State. It was a sane Akure that I used to know. I hardly see bikes flying around the whole place. But in as much as I think we have bills, maybe not enough, but I want to say also that the provision by the law has created that entity for people to start distributing bags. Bags might be good, maybe in the rural areas, maybe in the farmlands, for them to be able to move to the farm, cultivate their farm, get their product out in their own little ways. But however, it is now more or less a transportation business where you see youths who are no longer willing to even learn anything, rather take bike and just move from one place to other to get a living. But why? I saw a video in Ghana. They brought in rice. The youths there, they rejected the rice. That is why I got your question very well. Education. Nobody gives me bike, I can't take it. You can spend 6 years in primary school, 6 years in secondary school, even 5 or more years in the university, and think bike solves the problem. We need proper technical colleges, trading and learning. All these things can come from the government. They come from the private sector. I keep on saying these things. These bills are supposed to be fine-tuned towards the international trade policies. Do we even as a country, do we have foreign policies?
Would you like to speak up more?
In terms of trading. I'm just getting passionate about the question the more. Do we have policies that we have to channel things into? If you have a job, before going to political offices, you would have seen things well from the private sector and understand that if government can do this, now we are keeping refineries. They are underproductive. Even spending overhead, it is more than what the refinery can do. What are we still doing with these refineries? These are questions that we must ask from the private angle of it. But at the end of the day, the question is, some people are there and they are gainfully employed for doing nothing. This is the reason why I said education, education. It brings more to life. It opens the eye of everybody. You don't have to be educated and you don't have to be gainfully employed in the private sector, in the public sector, but also in the private sector. In the 80s, there was no DSTV, there was no telephone. But now, telecommunication companies, they've employed so much. The banking sector has employed so much. We need more. And we have to move at a very faster pace. The bill is not just enough.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Los Alade.